and Warriors.
We got to play Lakers basketball. We got to defend at a high rate. We're playing, in my opinion, the MVP of our league this year, and Steph. So they got championship DNA as well. They know what it takes and what it feels like to be in pressure games. So we got to be ready for that opportunity and for that pressure.
100 million, I'm still on the grind. 100 million, I'm still on the grind. 100 million, I'm still in the I can run this game into his mind.
Speaking of grind.
Stand up 919-984-704. That's all my North Carolina peeps for you.
Yeah. Well, again, we got a big basketball week to talk about here. But how about J. Cole? Speaking of basketball, making his debut.
3 points,
as a
3
professional
rebounds.
basketball player.
Basketball
Africa League.
That's good.
Right? Made his debut on Sunday.
It's professional basketball.
Give him
I
credit.
know, just the little smirk on your face, though. It was a slight smile.
I know, I just like, whatever, man, because you like 3 points, 3 rebounds. I'm like,
I'm just giving him love, man.
that's cool. J. Cole, you know.
It's all promotion for the album, but obviously the album's on fire.
Naturally, if you could, yeah, exactly. Off
But did he
season.
really need to play basketball to promote the album?
But here he can really hoop.
Oh, he
though.
loves to.
I
He
understand.
loves
He
to
can. No, he can really.
Yeah.
I
understand.
ball with him. I've seen him at Chris Brinkley's gym up in New York. He can really hoop, though, Key.
I understand. I get it.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying he couldn't hoop, but I'm saying, did he need to hoop to promote his album? Because he's J. Cole. You don't need to hoop to promote it. It's going to promote itself.
It's just in his
Right?
DNA, though. We've seen a lot of entertainers hoop that shouldn't be hooping. Let's be honest. He can hoop,
No, I see
and
lot
that's a
of-
hooper saying he can hoop.
Yeah, wanted to walk on at St. John's. Like you could, like it's somebody that, first of all, loves the game enough to play
Yes.
it at 36 years old. That's not
Like
easy
he can
to do.
play though. No, he can
Yeah.
actually play basketball, which is a huge difference. He's not one of the dudes that show up in the gym and you think twice. It's like, okay, come on.
Like I've
Yeah.
had Usher on my team playing ball. I'm like, Ush, stop. Give me the ball.
Really gonna
Like
put him
I
out-
love. No, that's my
put it out
dude.
there?
That's
First
my
of
guy.
all,
But I'm
Put
like,
it out there like
stop.
that.
First of
Like you're
all-
doing all these dance moves with the ball. Stop.
Right.
No,
First
like
of
give
all,
it
why
to
would
me.
you even pick him up? Though?
I did. He
That's-
picked me up. I was on his team. He's like, I got J1. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'ma
But
sit
then he
this-
like,
I'ma sit
you
this
can't
one out.
wave me off. You can't do that.
I'm gonna sit this one off.
right. The minute he steps on, like, gotta get some water. I'm
No,
good.
I'ma
I'll
sit
get you
this-
guys now.
I'm tired, man. I'm gonna let this one rest up. I'm gonna get the next one, dog.
But like J. Cole can ball. You know what? Chris Brown can ball. Chris Brown can really hoop. Like guy, there's certain guys that
a lot of guys though, just Chris Brown size alone and the way that he walks.
you can tell
me.
athlete. Yeah.
I could tell. I'm like, okay, he played in junior high, he played in high school. You know, he
Got a
played
foundation.
basketball. Yeah,
That-
something.
really, it's
foundation.
the foundation. As long as you watch somebody play, you could tell, all right, there's something there. You definitely were taught
Yeah, I
at
ain't
some
like Jay
point.
though. I'm not gonna call out a whole bunch of people, but Jay.
What? I'm just being real. That's my dude.
Oh, I'm talking about dudes that can't play.
Oh,
I'm like,
well,
Next time they're in the
It's
gym.
so-
us can
It's
shoot.
some-
We just,
it's some though.
but you can't tell nobody nothing.
I'm just like, go on, man, do your
Like
thing.
I know you made 20 million last year. Just pass that rock over here, though, dog. Let me do this.
I just love the Prince story is always the best story
Oh,
that Charlie
that's-
Murphy tells about how he can ball. Like that's one of the funniest things. He's so small, but you figure, all right, if he can ball, then I'd love to have been able to see something like that. But we will get to see the culmination now of an NBA season that ended yesterday, and there was we went into the day yesterday, guys. 17 of the 20 seeds were not set going into the final day of the season.
yes,
so before I
we
even
saw
break
your
down,
text at 5:55 in the
I
morning.
was
on
very
the weekend.
excited yesterday. It was a very exciting day for
Like, why
me
is Alan text?
yesterday.
It's 6 a.m. on a Saturday. We get it.
No,
Sunday,
no,
actually.
Sunday.
No one cares. That's what I told him.
Not no one. I do.
I
and
care.
That's all that matters.
At
I don't care. It's one guy that
2
cares
o'clock
was
in the
me.
afternoon or something, man. Come on, man, stop.
Well, you're going to care when the Lakers and Warriors meet on Wednesday night in a 7-8 game. That is, again, win and you move on to the 7th seed, lose and you got to win one to get at least the 8th seed. So that's what's exciting about what's coming up. But
They
still,
got
just
one MVP.
but we'll get into that too. But let me just ask you guys, just in general though. Did this for the NBA, the 7-10, which has been debated whether it's a good idea, not a good idea? LeBron once said that whoever came up with it should be fired. Mark Cuban was against it as well. Seeing what came of yesterday and how everything had to still be decided, and now what we have coming up in these games this week, was this a success for the NBA?
I think it was. I enjoyed watching teams at the very end have an opportunity to get into the playoffs or get a certain seeding. I thought it was great being able to just see guys excited about the opportunities and the possibilities. Plus, you get one game of a great seeding like the Lakers and the Warriors. Like that's like you would take that if one, let's say for instance, the Lakers were the first seed, and what would they be? They would be in the 6th seed would be Golden State. You would be all like jacked up to see that. So why not be jacked up to see the play-in?
Absolutely, especially because it's single. Well, it's not single elimination in that case in the 7-8. So at least
but
whoever loses, that's where the NBA wins. Because if Curry or LeBron
You
lose
still
that
see them
game,
play another game.
you got another game out
Well,
of one.
the
of them.
Lakers
Exactly.
ain't gonna need to play another game.
Well,
We shall see.
I love it. And also, I love it because there are parts of it that infuriate me. It's a love-hate relationship. So which means as a fan, it's great for the game.
Yeah.
Because then there's strategy involved. And we came off a conversation about load managing, and then you have a team that decides to load manage the last 2 games to avoid another team, which we'll dive a little bit deeper into throughout the beginning of our show.
We certainly will do that. Keyshawn J. Will Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. Alan Hahn in for Zubin. All guests join us on the Goodyear Hotline. Again, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776 for you to be part of the conversation. But let's give you the schedule for the week. All right, you have now it's set. So the East, you will have the Hornets and the Pacers, 6:30. And by the way, all games on ESPN Radio this week in the 7-10 play-in. So that's fantastic as well. So again, Hornets, Pacers, 6:30. That'll be on Tuesday. Then the second game, how about this? The Wizards. Washington Wizards versus the Boston Celtics. That's your 7-8. The Wizards got all the way into the 7-8. Amazing. That's a 9 o'clock start, by the way. Wednesday on ESPN TV and ESPN Radio, Spurs and the Grizzlies. That's 7:30. And then the Lakers host the Warriors. LeBron, Steph Curry, AD. That's 10 o'clock. Again, ESPN TV, ESPN Radio. Then the winner of the East games, that shouldn't be the right thing at all. That's right. Yes, the winner of game 1 of what I said, the Hornets Pacers play the loser of the Wizards Celtics for the 8th seed, and then the same thing happens on Friday. So a whole week of basically elimination basketball to set us up for the postseason. But as we talk about the seedings, guys, and what Jay, you referenced, so let's get to it. The Bucks decided they wanted to win on Saturday night. They were playing the Heat. They could have laid down and said, we don't want to play the Heat in the first round. We know what the Heat are about. They knocked us out last year, and they've been playing really well. So they could have laid down that game and avoided playing the Heat in the first round. Instead, they won that game and won it going away, and they will now face the Heat in the first round.
See, I love that, especially for a team that beat them 4-1 last year in the playoffs. No, I'm not going to avoid you. I'm going to come right at you, and I'm going to show you that we are better than what we were last year, and we're going to go through you. But that says something about the Bucks.
Meanwhile, the Clippers.
I hear you, but it says something about the Bucks because it could have been easily avoided.
Yeah, but they needed to play against them and play their best ball so that they could send a message to them based on what happened last year.
That's what you would think.
But the Clippers went the other way. The Clippers had 2 games against the bottom feeders in the West, the Rockets and the Thunder. They lost them both. And by doing that, it ensured them, even though the Lakers didn't get to the 6th seed, we didn't know until Sunday night if they would or would not. So the Clippers decided this weekend, we're going to make sure we don't deal with the Lakers at all in case
it was
we would have to face them.
It was abysmal. It was horrible. I was here Friday night, late night, doing NBA Countdown, and we're all sitting there, me, Jalen, Woj. I'm not speaking for them. They can say their own. And they have a microphone to them as well. And we're all just like, to the Rockets, man? Like that's what we're doing right now? We're doing this to the Rockets? And then to follow that up, we're doing it to OKC? Has anybody watched OKC this year?
Not good.
I mean, they already have 30,000 first-round picks from now until the year 2038. And they're still tanking. They're still doing that. But that's what we're doing, Clippers. We're losing to the Rockets and to OKC to solidify a spot that we don't have to play the Lakers at the 6th seed. If we get the 3 seed, that's what wow. Like, what is that? I get the strategy behind it.
The 4th seed. The Clippers fell to the 4th seed. They will play the Mavericks instead.
I get the strategy behind it. I understand that from a basketball, purist. I see that. That's a better matchup for you. Understand that. But wow, that if I'm the Lakers or if I'm that's y'all running away from us like that, huh? You guys are really running away from us like that. What does that say about your team? Again, I don't want to hear any of this talk like, well, it wasn't planned. Stop it.
Right.
Like, don't hit me with
they
all
were
that
playing
political
so
jargon.
well down the stretch, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, pull the plug.
There we go. All right, guys.
And
sit on out.
And that's the reason why I always tell y'all the Clippers are the Clippers. It's just they are who they are. It's not going to be Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They getting ready to take them to the championship. The Clippers are the Clippers, man.
You're just not buying it. I mean,
That's just who they are.
Is that an example,
They're
though?
running from the Lakers, and you would think that they would step up and be like, I don't care who we play.
Yeah.
Like LeBron has said, we're in it.
But
I
wouldn't
don't really care.
Wouldn't you argue this?
How
if,
we
if
get
I
there,
want
we
the
there.
Lakers, I want them now, not later when they get
Doesn't-
into a rhythm and
does
get
it-
all right.
If they
Like,
get
I
going,
want them
they would
now.
meet them in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh,
That's when they would meet
matter,
them.
though. Doesn't matter when we play them. Just get it on. It could be now. It could be tomorrow. It could be the next.
You're
day.
gonna have
It's
to
just-
beat them eventually, right?
Look,
Let's get it on. What
the
you
strategy
running
could
for?
work. I mean, the strategy could work if they're obviously going against Dallas and then they face probably Utah, right, to get there. It can work. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying the Clippers can't come out of the West.
Yeah.
So funny,
I'm just
though.
saying how you go about it matters to me. And if you're watching it, you're like, damn.
I think the Clippers are trying to get out of the second round, man. That's all.
Damn.
Wow.
But they ain't never got out the second round.
You're right.
So 888 say ESPN,
right, you're right.
888
They've never
729
played in a Western
3776.
Conference final.
Is the 7